What's going on, guys? This is Dave from PNP, and I'm here to talk to you about Underdog Fantasy. I just want to remind you that's the easiest place to play. There ain't too many places where you can win 20 times your money in the same night, utilizing higher lowers in the Pick'em game. And now they have Pick'em Insurance, where while you won't win the same amount of money that you did before, you can miss one and still bring home some money. So if you do it 3 times, you can potentially still get your money back if you end up missing one. Go to UnderdogFantasy.com and sign up today and use the code PNP when you do. And the $100 deposit match still stands. Underdog Fantasy.
Panther Nation podcast. Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. Oh, cut it. Cut right. And I would like to introduce one of the hottest podcasts in Carolina history. Let's go. Yeah. Talk, let's chat. We got time to chop it up. Talking analytics and fantasy draft. You know what's up. Panther Nation representing, cause this is where we talk that. Talk that's so incredible. Make them rewind that talk back. Pause. Talking Panthers football, we discussing it all. On and off the field, you know exactly who to call. You know we the #1 podcast. Competition is non-existent, you need to stop that. Pause. It's an honor to be a Panther fan. Pause. At Bank of America, that is where we ball. Coming to the jungle, then you gonna feel the pause. Winning the trophy for the city, it is the call. Black, white, and blue, we going Carolina strong. And this is the conversation where everyone belongs. Discussing all the numbers and topics, you know we got it. We the hottest podcast, and we poppin', let's go.
What's up, man? You know why you're here. Waiver Wire Fantasy Q&A for week 3. So I wanted to play a little bit of a game to open up. You know, it's been 2 weeks. We're gonna see how this thing goes. And I want you guys, we're gonna play this game called Guess the Record. So I'm gonna pull up a lineup. This is one of my lineups. I got 4 lineups. And we're gonna play Guess the Record. So you can either guess if I'm 2-0, 1-1, or 0-2. There's only 3 options here. All right, because you'll be, so it'll be a fun exercise. So we're gonna play Guess the Record. Let me go ahead and make sure everything's where I wanted to be. All right. So all right, we're gonna do 4. I got 4 lineups for you. Let's do the first one. Let's start with the first one. All right, so here's the first lineup. This is who I started. This weekend. So am I 2-0, 1-1, or 0-2? You know, Hurts had a phenomenal game last night. So what do you guys think? 2-0, 1-1, and 0-2. All right, we got some 1-1s in here, 1-1s, 2-0. Okay. Now remember, man, Tyreek Hill had a really good game. Jalen Hurts had a really good game. So this squad was 2-0. This squad was 2-0. All right. And then notice I have Christian McCaffrey, right? And I know we've given a lot of heat about Christian McCaffrey, but the reality is he's still scoring a decent chunk of fantasy points, even though without any touchdowns, because he's still getting decent usage. My opponent this week, I don't know if you guys watched. I mean, if you guys follow me on Twitter, this was my Monday night miracle. I needed Jalen Hurts to go ham, and he did. So this was my Monday night miracle. I ended up winning this matchup by 7 points. Ended up being the highest score of the week this week. So yeah, and it's funny. This young lady that I played against her in 2 leagues this week. So for this one, I ended up with the victory. So all right, here's the second one. Let me pull the second one up real quick. All right. So let's see if you guys can guess the record for this one. Actually, you know what? I just thought about something. Substitute Jeff Wilson Jr. for Hunt. Substitute Jeff Wilson Jr. for Hunt. So what is my so Jeff Wilson was not starting last week. He's going to be starting this week. So substitute Jeff Wilson Jr. for Kareem Hunt. So what was my record for this one? Yeah, some of these leagues are money leagues. That first one was a money league. This one is too. Oh and 2, man. 0-2, huh? 0-2. Everybody's saying 0-2. Jesus. All right. This one was 1-1. I lost this week. This one was a pretty bad week. This was I didn't hit 100 points this week for this one. So yeah, I lost this week. Same young lady I played in the last league, I played her in this one as well. So I went 1-1 against her this week. This team is 1-1. And as you can see, we got Justin Herbert here. He's questionable. I did sub in Hunt for Jeff Wilson Jr., even though I might go back to Hunt because Denver's got the number one run defense in the league right now. DJ Moore, Rashad Bateman, or Russell Gage, week 3. Who should I start? Only fantasy question tonight. Right now, man, to be honest with you, Bateman. If Winston's available, you should try to go get him. I don't know if I'm ready to bench Burrow yet, though, but if he's available, you absolutely should try to go get him. He's not available in too many leagues right now. A lot of folks got him last week. All right, so yeah, this team was 1-1. All right, here's the next one. Some of you guys can recognize this one, so y'all can cheat for this one. There's your clue for the day. Once again, Rodgers, McCaffrey, Jones, Marquise Brown, Michael Thomas, Logan Thomas, T. Higgins, Colts defense, Jake Elliott. How many, what do you think happened here? What's my record? 0-2, 2-0, 1-1. What y'all got? And we'll start getting into play. 0-3. Well, luckily I can't be 0-3. I can't be 0-3. A. Pierce. You mean Damon Pierce? I think I'm rolling with Williams here. 0-3, 1-1, 0-2, 1-1. I was 1-1 in this one. I'm 1-1 in this one. I won this week. Crazy enough. I won this week. I beat Noli. I was going up against Noli. I beat Noli this week. So I went 1-1 in this one. So I'm 1-1 in this one. All right, last one. So for quarterback, I already dropped him. Trey Lance was here. Yeah, Trey Lance was here. Now give me Williams then. I don't know what Houston's doing with Pierce, man. I don't know if he's gonna get all the work, or I don't know if Burkhead's gonna get the work. I know Williams has a role in Detroit. So yeah, my quarterback here was Trey Lance. Trey Lance is my quarterback. He's IR. He's done for the season. I got to go get a quarterback. So I already dropped him. He gone. So what was my record? 2-0, 1-1, 0-2. One and one again. I think it's 1-1 again. Anybody else? Before I tell y'all the answer. All right. So for this one, I was 2-0. I'm 2-0 here with no quarterback. So I say all that to say, and truth be told, even if I didn't play Trey Lance this week, I still would have won. Funny enough. Because Trey Lance only got me 2 points. So I say all this to say is that, your opponents change every week. Sometimes you just get enough points to make the wins. Oh yeah, Tyreek saved me. Tyreek saved me big time. Big time. No question. But those are the breaks. That's what happens. I went 5-2 this week. I would have went 6-1 because I got my Monday Night Miracle, but then somebody else got their Monday Night Miracle on me because they had Stephon Diggs. I was up 40 points. I was up about 35 points going into Monday night, and I still had Justin Jefferson to play. And Tyreek and Stephon Diggs got 50 points. So that means I needed 16 points from Justin Jefferson. I didn't get it. So I ended up losing. So somebody else got their Monday Night Miracle off on me. It is what it is, man. It happens. You give it, then you take it away. All right. So let's look at what's going on in the fantasy realm. So let me do another share. Who's going to stay consistent? Yeah, dude. Like, that's why when folks are talking about like making trades, and we'll talk about some possible trades that you could do. It's kind of hard, like, because you don't know what you're going to end up with, and game plans change from teams week to week because most teams aren't thinking about fantasy. Like, you can try to go with the surefire or the so-called surefire, right? Because some people are going to get the same consistent amount of work, and those are the guys that you want to go after typically. Like, you want to go after the guys that's going to get a certain type of work. All right. So these were the scoring leaders for one of the leagues that I'm in. Let me make sure this is a standard. Yeah, this is the standard league PPR. Well, now I want to do a 12 team because that way that's more realistic. No, not that one. Let's do this one. One of them. Give me 1 second, guys. All right, well, we'll start at the quarterback position. All right, so when you look at the quarterback position, yeah, you can expect 15 from CMC. The debate becomes whether or not 15 points a week is worth the number 2 overall pick, right? That's a strong debate because typically when you draft somebody that high, you want to get like 20 to 25 a game. If you have Christian Kirk needs to be starting. He needs to be your wide receiver too. Right now, I think I'm leaning towards Brandon Cooks over DJ Moore right now because it looks like the Panthers want to spread the ball out. They want to spread the ball out so much, so DJ Moore is going to suffer because of it. So based on what you're showing me right here, Chase is obviously your 1, Kirk is your 2, Cooks is your flex. Yeah, but that doesn't matter if your quarterback is inaccurate and you're not getting enough targets. Like, if you're a number 1 wide receiver, you got to get at least 8 to 10 targets, man. Like, you got to have at least 8 targets. I prefer 10, but you need at least 8. And he hasn't been able to take advantage of the target share that he's gotten. Like, he got 6 targets last week, and he ended up only with 3 receptions. So there's a level of inaccuracies with the quarterback that's starting to affect DJ Moore, probably more than any other quarterback that he's had since in the rule era, which is kind of scary in itself. Lattimore is not out, not yet. All right, so let's get to these quarterbacks because I don't want to be here all day. I don't want to be here for 2 hours like I was the last time. I got other things I got to get done. I got to pack so I can get out of here tomorrow. So when you talk about quarterbacks, man, these were the top scoring quarterbacks of the week. And if you look at some of the players that are up here, man, like we talked about Carson Wentz last week. So Carson Wentz is somebody that I would be intrigued by if he's available in your league and you need quarterback help. Tua, if he's available, you got to scoop him up. This could be a trade asset for somebody too, especially somebody that might have just lost Trey Lance. you probably could leverage something with Tua, or if you really need a quarterback, try to see what it would take to get Tua in your league. Interesting fact: Joe Flacco is the 9th best quarterback in fantasy football right now, or number 10. He's 10 because Jalen Hurts passed him last night. He's the 10th best quarterback in fantasy, so he could play. He might be a startable situation next week against Cleveland. Well, that's week 2. No, against who does the Jets play next week? Who do the Jets play next week? Cincinnati. He's a starting option against Cincinnati next week. So if you need help, there you go. Jared Goff. Jared Goff is 9th. And I know Jared Goff is available in a lot of leagues, guys. So if you need quarterback help, this is the guy I'm going to probably go after. Because he's probably going to be available. Him and Flacco. But Flacco's so temporary because Zach Wilson's going to come back and take the job back. Tua, if he's available, I like him at the top. I don't think Wentz is available in enough leagues to even talk about. Trevor Lawrence, if he's available, he's up there with Tua. I would take my chances with Trevor. If you're really hurting and you lost Trey Smith, there's always Jimmy Garoppolo, but be cautious. Just be cautious with Jimmy G. After that, I don't think I want to touch anybody else at the quarterback spot, at least. Now, let's look at the leaders for the whole season. Now, when you're talking about the leaders for the whole season, these are your leaders. Tua is number 5. Wentz is number 4. Mahomes is number 6. Herbert's number 7. If you're worried about Herbert, you probably need to go get a guy too. Jared Goff, these are your guys. Marcus Mariota might be available in some leagues. Derek Carr might be, but most likely not. But after that, I think that's where the line hits. Some people got Jameis Winston. If you're desperate, go for it. Daniel Jones will be interesting this week against Dallas. But at that point, you're in streamer territory. All right? So that's that when it comes to the quarterback spot. I'll take some more of your questions. I am concerned about Russ in Denver. There's too many other options. Speaking of that, where is Russell Wilson ranked? Where is Russell Wilson? Oh, where is Russell Wilson? He's got to be up here. Did I miss him? There he is. He's ranked 18th. I'm worried. And I'm concerned about Russ. I'm very concerned about Russ. I question whether or not he's going to end up ranked in the top 12 at the end of the season in quarterback. So, yeah, it's a legitimate concern. A very legitimate concern. I don't know yet. I would hope he will, but we'll see. I don't think I'll start him. He might have lost his job to Dortch. Greg Dortch might be available in a lot of leagues, so keep that in mind. It all depends who's available. So I'll bring up some guys when I get to the wide receiver slot. Speaking of which, let's get to the running backs. So the running backs. The running backs. Here's your top guys. CEH. Look at that. James Robinson. Make sure this is correct. Yeah, that's right. Here's your running backs. Full PPR. Jonathan Taylor is as rough as his game was last week. He's still the 7th best running back in fantasy because he only got 7 points in week 2. But now, and even Christian McCaffrey, people have been giving Christian some heat. He's still 9th. Well, we really haven't had too many players that exploded yet, but he's slow and steady, man. I still think these numbers need to be higher. The TD saved them in week 1. I still think this usage needs to be higher, but to still be 9th with only 1 touchdown, can't complain too much. Hunt's 10th, and he had a rough game, and he had a rough second game too. He only got 10 points, so this is going to be a fluid thing. Eckler's an interesting one. We'll see how it goes with Mr. Eckler. Javonte Williams fell off a little bit, but he's about where we expected. He's 14th, but I think he'll bounce back next week. Dylan's 15th. So Green Bay got 2 top 15 running backs. I told you guys the value was better with Dylan. Aaron Jones is balling, but the value is better with Dillon. I wouldn't be nervous about Fournette. So we want to talk about folks that I would try to trade for. Some people might panic about Jonathan Taylor, believe it or not. I would try to go after him. I would be careful going after Barkley because his price is going to be too high. Because even Barkley didn't have that strong of a game last week. So I'll be cautious with Barkley. I mean, 3.4 yard per carry average. I'll be cautious with Barkley. If you could trade for one of the Green Bay running backs, I would try. When we talk about waivers, boy, your options are limited. Darrell Williams is interesting if Connor's out for a long period of time. When you start talking about the running back spot, man, it becomes kind of tough in these streets. I would talk about P. Ryan, but P. Ryan's is taken already. Alvin Kamara is an interesting option if you want to trade, if people are panicking about him. So that's an option. That's an option too. Let's see here. You should have already put him in your flex, bro. He's getting all the work. That's why I stayed away from NTN because I felt like he was going way too high with James Robinson sitting there. As soon as James Robinson started getting work, that was going to be suffer for NTN. Out of these three, I would pick Mariota. I think Derrick Henry would be fine. He ran into Buffalo, man. He ran into Buffalo. I think he'd be fine. So the trade on Discord, hold on. Did you update the trade? I told you to offer Dillon first before you give up Eckler. But if he wants Eckler, let me see. Oh yeah, I'm looking at who he got. Oh, I see why he wants Eckler. Dang, how you let this guy draft this type of team? Hey, Noli, man, if I was you, I would go after. If he want Eckler so bad, why don't y'all do a straight swap for Chubb? I would do that. Unless you really want St. Brown. If you really need St. Brown, then that'll be a tough one. But if you want to trade for Chubb, I would do a straight trade for Chubb if he wants Eckler that damn bad. That's what I would do to start before I give up. Yeah, because he's trying to make a team that's formidable. Yeah. We'll continue the conversation in the Discord. I would try to do a straight trade if he wants Chubb that bad. I would do a straight trade, Chubb for Eckler. I mean, if he wants Eckler that bad, I would do a straight trade, Chubb for Eckler. I had to drop Trey Lance, still had Kyler Murray. Nah, go after Jeff Wilson first. I'm shocked that Ayuk's there. Yeah, I would definitely try to do that. Jeff Wilson should be the first guy in your wire if he's available in your league. He shouldn't be available, but if he is, you should go after him first. Even though you want Ayuk and Browns D, it should go Wilson, Ayuk, Browns D in that order. There's other defense you can go after if you don't get Browns D. But if Jeff Wilson Jr., you got an opportunity to get Jeff Wilson Jr., you need to go get him. And yeah, just go with one quarterback, man. That's what I typically do. So that's what I would do if I was you. All right. Let's get to the receivers real quick. Let's look at the rankings, then we'll look at the wire. So here's your top receivers. 2 Dolphins wide receivers are in the top 5, man. That's not gonna last forever. If I was a Waddle owner, I would try to trade and get as much as I can, trade Waddle and get as much as I can for him. St. Brown, I think St. Brown's the real deal, and I think he's going to get the bulk of the target share. I think he's a bona fide number 1 wide receiver for Detroit. If you can trade for him, I would try, especially if you need wide receiver help. You might not have to give up as much, but we'll see. I mean, right now, like Noli is going through a trade. I guess he wants to trade Eckler and Sutton to somebody, and he'll get back Javonte and St. Brown. He's worried because his running backs are kind of thin. But then when I look at this dude's team, I don't know if I want to give him that much power. But then again, he would get weakened pretty big without St. Brown. But maybe he thinks he can still do it with Cooper Kupp. Because he got Cooper Kupp and St. Brown, man. That's deadly. I don't know why he would try to trade somebody at this point. I think he's just trying to trade for Eckler just to see if he can get a confirmation. Because, you would take the hit on the running back slot, but you would definitely get a significant upgrade with St. Brown. I think St. Brown's a real deal. I think he's going to be balling all season. No, I'm not with it. I'm not with Collins, Nico Collins. I'm not with it. Pacheco, desperation. Not somebody I want to throw in a lineup. Now, when you want to talk about guys that are available, if Duvernay's available, you got to check his injury status. But if Duvernay's available, he's somebody that could be considered to be picked up. He's in the concussion protocol, so if he's available, that's an option. John Dotson's available in a lot of leagues too. So if he's available, if Garrett Wilson is available, I think didn't Garrett Wilson get hurt? Or am I tripping? Or maybe he didn't get hurt. Yeah, Garrett Wilson. If Garrett Wilson is available, you should definitely try to scoop him up. He's balling. He might be gone though. Corey Davis is an interesting one. I mean, he's top 20 in fantasy right now. Greg Dortch, we talked about him, but he's probably already gone. Nelson Aguilar, man. If Jaroby Myers is available, I would take him over Aguilar. But if Aguilar is available in a lot of leagues, I would go after Aguilar. Absolutely, I would go after Aguilar. If Shepard's available, that's an option. I'm not a big buyer of Doolin. Richie James is interesting, but I don't know if I would just throw Richie James in my lineup after picking him up. And that's pretty much it for receivers for me. Jeff Wilson. Oh, Breece Hall. For me, it's between actually Dylan might be the best bet. But this is tough. You got a good situation. I wouldn't play Renfro. Now give me Dylan here. I'll take AJ Dillon here. But it's close. Like it's one of these three guys, Dylan, Hall, or Wilson. But it's close. How are you 0-2 with Hurts and Tua? How? Mike Thomas and Pitts for Tua. I'm gonna be honest, man. I think Tua is gonna be good. I just don't think you should expect him to throw for 6 touchdowns every week. So you gotta temper your expectations. And what's your wide receiver situation looking like, Eddie? Speaking of Pitts, how's the tight end position going? Because I know Pitts has been disappointing so far. Yeah, Pitts has been disappointing. I don't see him. Where's Pitts? Oh, no, that's not what I want. Hold on. Oh, my God. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. You can't start Pitts right now. Oh, you remember when folks were trying to tell me that Pitts is the 4th-round pick? And I was like, no, he's not. I always explain that the tight end position gets ugly fast. Look who's near the top of the list. Here's your top 10 fantasy tight ends. Gerald Everett is 4th. He's 4th. Wasn't drafted in most leagues. 4th. Getting some good targets too. He got 10 targets last week. He got 4 targets the week before, but luckily he got a touchdown. So if you need tight end help, I think Everett's at the top of my list. Conklin's near the top of my list as well. But it's a wasteland, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to just go after the folks that wasn't drafted. OJ Howard. Remember him? Not getting enough targets though. Something to be concerned about. He was terrible last week, but Evan Ingram I like. Like if Evan's available, I would go after him. He's getting enough target share. 4 targets, 8 targets. I like this. If I got a tight end that gets like 4 to get at least 4 to 5 targets at least, that's a good spot to be in. And he got 8 targets last week. I like that. I mean, 10 points. You get 10 points from your tight end. That's a good 11 points from tight end without a touchdown. That's a good day. That's a good day. So Evan Ingram's probably my top guy. Unless Ingram, Everett, and Conklin. So a lot of folks still ain't picking up Logan Thomas. You should definitely go after Logan Thomas, guys. I mean, tight ends are a wasteland. I'd rather start Logan Thomas than Kyle Pitts. I had to go and figure out where he was. Dude's 35th. So they took, so keep that in mind. Yeah, I think I would do this only because I'm not a believer in Pitts. And if you definitely need a quarterback, then I would do it. Oh, Jesus. Yo, man, I'm worried about Denver. And if the quarterback's not good, that means you got to be worried about the receivers too. So keep that in mind, guys. If your quarterback's trash, odds are pretty high that you're going to have some challenges with the receiver position too. Robinson. Give me Robinson here. James Robinson here. Eckler and Javonte. That's a good question. Probably like 5 points a week, maybe 6 points a week. Give and take. Probably more around the 5-point range. That's a really good question. Well, Amari Cooper for Corey Davis. All right, so that's all the players. Let me that Eckler question is interesting. I mean, shit, they're pretty much ranked the same right now. Eckler's 13th. Javonte's 14th. Javonte is getting, he got 18 touches the first game, 16 touches the second game. And Eckler, 18-23. 18 touches in one game, 23 for the other. And right now they're pretty much neck and neck. Because the problem is, I'm thinking that Eckler's getting, he ain't got a touchdown yet. But that's scary in itself. Because if they're bringing in Josh Kelly and Sony Michel to get carries too, man, that's eating up his work. And that could be potentially eating up his touchdown potential. So that's something you got to keep in mind. Now, Cooper versus Davis. Yeah, let me see. I don't have neither one of those guys, man. So let's see. Where's Cooper at? Amari Cooper. And Corey Davis. That's pretty much a one of one. I think I would probably rather have Cooper. They're pretty much ranked around the same place. So I mean, what are we really buying? Doing a trade like that? Not much. So I don't know if I want to. I don't know if that's worth your time. Is what I'm saying. If you already got Cooper, I would just keep Cooper. I don't think it's worth your time. I mean, yeah, when you talk about matchups, I mean, you can roll with Wilson, but the thing about Tampa, if that game turns into a shootout, Dylan benefits. So keep that in mind. Somebody dropped Zeke already? Good luck. All right, Eddie, I got to go back and look up what your original trade was because, that's separated. Where's your trade at? Who's your? Oh, you said your quarterback's Russell. That's tough. Who's your other tight end? Who's your tight end? He might be. In some leagues, he is. Yeah, you should make the trade. I didn't realize how close Eckler and Javonte was. I would make the trade. It's a risk, but it's worth the risk because if Javonte keeps pace, that might be worth it. And I think he could. I didn't realize they were that close. Well, yeah, because I'm more worried about whether or not he's going to get the goal line work. If they're going to bring in Josh Kelly and Sonny Michel for the goal line work, that doesn't help you. Oh, you got Kelsey? You shouldn't have Pitts to begin with. Make the trade off that alone. Make the trade off that alone. I'm a little concerned about losing Michael Thomas. I would rather, if you could trade Pitts for Tua straight up, but I'm pretty sure that ain't going to be enough because Pitts has been so terrible. Yeah, go ahead and pull that trigger. Make that trade. Make that trade. In essence, it's pretty much Mike Thomas for Tua and hope for the best. I don't know, man. We don't know we don't know what Zach Wilson's going to do. Truth be told, Flacco's been playing. I think they probably should roll with Flacco and let Zach sit a year because I think Zach probably could have benefited from sitting a year. I think he should sit and let Flacco play it through unless Flacco gets hurt. All right, so when we talk about who's available, let's talk about who's available. So I'm just going to go through a quick sample size. So here's the quarterbacks, man. You got Tua, Trevor. Love these guys. Like I said earlier, Tannehill's Tannehill. I wouldn't do it, but, more power to you. Jared Goff is interesting, even though I know it's Jared Goff, but, different times come with different measures. If you have some patience with the quarterback and you think that you might need one soon, Kenny Pickett is somebody that you can – if you are the guy that wants to keep a backup in the tuck, Kenny Pickett is a guy that is available, probably will take over the job halfway through the season, and could win you a league. So I'm not telling you to drop your starting quarterback now to go get Kenny Pickett. I'm just telling you sometimes you got to think about long term. This is one of those moments. Just like, normally during the season, I have a week where I talk about it's handcuff week, and I'll tell you guys to go get your handcuffs now. If you didn't draft them or you had to drop them for some reason, when you get closer to the playoffs, it's time to get your handcuffs. And I've had a few folks pretty much tell me that saved them from winning that saved them. They ended up winning the league because they had their handcuff for their particular running backs. So we're not there yet. It's early, but 1 week I'm gonna walk up in here and say it's handcuff time, guys. It's time to go get your handcuffs. All right, so Kenyon Drake, good God. This was another one that's a long-term thing because Tyler Algier has been starting to get some more work, man. So pay attention. Pay attention. Pay attention in Atlanta, guys. Pay attention. I would pick him up if he's available. Sonny Michel, Zach Moss, Darrell Williams is interesting, especially if Connor doesn't play. Darrell Williams is definitely interesting. And Eno Benjamin for Arizona. So, other than that, really ain't too many options at the running back slot, to be honest with you. Ain't too many places to go. You could grab Drake too, but, that's just a short-term thing until the other running back from Baltimore comes back. For wide receiver, Shepard, if he's available, is one that you should consider. Peoples Jones is another one that you should consider. Although he didn't get too many targets last week. Corey Davis, he's available. You absolutely should consider. Dortch, you should consider if he's available. But this league got a lot of available wide receivers. I will say Duvernay, if he's available, he should be back in time with the concussion protocol. Yeah, this league got some pretty good spots. I might have to switch leagues. The thing is, let's see. This was probably tighter. Yeah, this is a money league, so this was probably tighter. Somebody drop Olave, but yeah, that's nuts. McCole Harmon, if he's available, that's an option. If Rondell Moore's available, if he's coming back next week, I would put a flyer on him if he's available in leagues. Well, at this point, man, these are guys that you probably shouldn't be starting unless you absolutely have to. Zay Jones, if he's available, I would take a shot on him. He's been getting some targets. I don't like 4 targets, but it'll probably go up. We'll see. So yeah, if Corey Davis is available in the league, man, you got to go get him. You got to go get him. Top 20 guy, you got to go get him. All right, it is now 8:42. I'll take a couple more questions, and then I'm gonna probably close this bad boy out. So let's see. Hurts is fine. Fournette is fine. Don't panic over Fournette. Jeff Wilson's fine. You can check and see if there's any running backs available to supplement. Because when who's the guy that was starting for San Fran? Mitchell. When Mitchell comes back, that's going to impact Wilson. Yeah, your wide receivers are fine. Tight end's fine. Josh Allen every week. You start Josh Allen every week. I don't give a damn who Josh Allen plays. You start Josh Allen every week. Okay? You start Josh Allen every week. There's some guys where you don't give a damn about an opponent. Josh Allen is one of them. You start him every week. God, I pray for your RB2s if those are your 2 options. Brian Robinson's still on IR. I think I'm leaning towards NTN here. Oh, if the Commanders are playing from behind, who do the Commanders play next week? I don't know. Who does the Commanders play next week? Let's see. Let's find out. If I just do Washington, it'll tell me. Philly. Oh, there's a rivalry game this week. I think I still would lean NTN here, even with that. Yeah, that's a good trade. Especially if you don't have faith in Zeke. I'm worried about Zeke. Tony Parles way better, and at some point, Mike McCarthy might have to just swallow his pride and have that conversation. I don't want to answer that. I don't want to root for the Panthers to lose, man. I can't do that. If you have all 3 of these guys, you need to trade 2 of them. But the answer is Josh Allen. I'm starting Josh Allen every week. Every week. Oh, you're probably just saying that. Yes, that is true. Actually, Allen, Mahomes, Herbert, Hurts, and Lamar. You start them every week. You start those every week. Damn a matchup. Some people are just matchup proof, and that fits the bill. You ain't got much of a choice because Evans is out next week. I don't want to get into too much Panthers talk. I mean, I'm going to the game on Sunday, so hopefully they'll win. But like I said on the show yesterday, I wouldn't be shocked if we lose that they might decide to part ways with Rule. That'll be 10 straight losses. That's a good, nice round number. They might let him continue a little further, but there'll be a point where if he doesn't win a game soon, he's going to be out of here. Myers. Jarobi Myers from New England. Myers. He's getting all the targets, bro. Look at this. I'm going to show it to you. Look at this. I'm going to share it in a minute. Give me a second, guys. But look at this. I know he's 32nd, so he's a flex play. He's the low-end flex. That's fine. I don't care about that. What I care about is this. 13 targets. Look at this. That's what I care about. I mean, I think it's clear with the 2 guys that are getting the targets. It's him and Aguilar. All right? It's him and Aguilar. I understand it's Matt Jones. Last year, Bourne used to get a lot of targets. That's not happening as much now. And Parker hasn't really had too many targets. But he's probably still learning the offense. So, yeah, Myers, Aguilar in that order. Would you switch out. Why do you guys, and oh yeah, Mooney's a dropper. I'm already done with Mooney. I'm done with Mooney. I'm done. I've had enough. I've seen enough. I'm done with Mooney. We're done. I've seen enough. I saw enough to say that I'm done with Mooney. As for the Lamar, I would just keep rolling with Thomas, but you can't do wrong with either one. You can play Goddard. I mean, I'm indifferent with those two. It's so close. I mean, let's look at the tight end rankings one more time because I don't remember. Scoring leaders, tight end, all the whole season. I mean, it's close. I mean, you're talking about 1 point difference. Based off this, I would probably roll with Goddard. But either way, both of them are getting theirs. I like Logan Thomas a little bit better. But that's on you. But I would drop Mooney. I'm done with Mooney. Mooney. If there's a good wide receiver available, I would do it. I mean, you can trade whoever you want, bro. You know, I mean, he's the 9th best running back in fantasy right now. So you should be able to get back like a wide receiver 1 and maybe an RB2 back for him if you want to trade him away. All right. Those are the breaks, bro. That can happen. Well, I could tell you how he lost. If he ran into Tua, if he ran into Jalen Hurts last night, if he ran into Tyreek Hill, if he ran into Tyreek Hill, if he ran into I can't remember what running back. How I can't remember the running backs that performed pretty high. You could lose with a lineup like that, bro. It can happen. It can absolutely happen. Because if you ran into, let me tell you something, man. If you ran into Aaron Jones and Nick Chubb, you absolutely can lose. He ain't have neither one of those guys. And having Chubb and Aaron Jones is a plausible offense. It's a plausible situation. You see how you notice that dip between 1, 2, and 3? A 13-point difference. But yeah, you can lose. You absolutely can lose. And then when it comes to yeah, you can lose. It can happen. There's a lot of points still out there. That can happen. If they have Waddle and Diggs, you could lose. Hawkinson. No question. Even though Hawkinson has been underperforming, Hawkinson's been getting enough targets to warrant him starting. Hawkinson. Tough losses can happen. Sometimes you can deliver it to somebody, and sometimes it happens to you. Because it happened to me last night. I had a tough loss last night. Being up 35 going into Monday night, only have to worry about Diggs, and then you still got Justin Jefferson to tuck, and you still lose. Tough losses happen, bro. Those are the breaks. That's what makes fantasy football. Oh, yep, that's what happened to me. Didn't work well for me. But I thought I was sitting pretty. I was like, there's no way Diggs will get 50 points. Dude got 50 points. It happens, man. Look, we even go to let's go back and look at these receivers again. Look at this. I ran into this. Matter of fact, in that league, I don't even think I pulled that league up. Who did I run into? Yep, I think that was the one I ran into that killed me. Because, yeah, man. I ran into Diggs. Diggs was the big one. My team underperformed this week. I got a quarterback problem in this league too that I got to fix because my quarterbacks were Tom Brady and Trey Lance. So Tom Brady ain't doing enough. So I gotta replace him. Tom Brady's gonna be a liability for me. I gotta replace him. There's other folks in the wire that can help me now, like Tua. What's up, Hector? Higby's been getting the targets, bro. So that's what you look for, especially in tight end. He's been getting the targets. Oh no, I'm done, dude. I'm done with Mooney. Like You know, there's always a thing about Chicago wide receivers, man. Chicago wide receivers go to Chicago to die. And that's what's happened with Mooney, man. And I like Justin Fields, but it's just not a place to be. It's gonna be interesting to see. I'm not too worried. I would probably put Robinson for the IR spot. Well, yeah, well, that's a good combo to have, I'll tell you that. Yeah, I don't have any Derrick Henry. Yeah, now you could probably drop. Well, I don't know if I'm ready to drop Pitts yet, but I'm close, bro. Because I think if I could try to trade him away to somebody that thinks that he's going to turn it around, I would. What Slim said, man, the draft matters, but your activity after the draft might matter more. You got to be paying attention to what's happening. Yeah, Herbert is another guy you definitely should go after, especially if you have Montgomery. But it all depends on what's going to happen because Herbert could take that job over, or this situation can become a mess if they do a split type of situation. Hollywood. I'll order it. Hollywood, DJ, Sutton, Smith, Gage. How low would you go? Dude, Kyle Pitts is the 35th best tight end in fantasy right now after 2 weeks. 35th. How low would I go for Pitts? I'm so glad I didn't draft Pitts. Like, and it's funny because when we were going over positions, that was one discussion point about Pitts, and I said, no way. This ain't one of those shows, man. This is the fantasy show. Rashad's retired from fantasy. Somebody earlier was saying that DJ goes off. The Saints D ain't the concern you have, sir. The concern you got to have is whether or not he's going to get enough targets. Because right now, he's not getting the targets. You could have Kittle. That's true. But Kittle ain't that. Kittle ain't played yet. But you know what? He ain't too far behind for Pitts. Let's look. Let me show you. So Kittle has 0 points because he hasn't played yet. But if you look at the fact, where's Kittle? He's not even here. Oh, wait. So where's Kittle? He's not even on the list. Yeah, that's how terrible he is. He hasn't even made the cut. Oh, he's not even on the first page. So Kittle don't have any fantasy points. Kyle Pitts, shit. He only got 5. He ain't too far behind. He's only averaging 3 points a game. So what have you truly missed? If you got somebody ranked that bad, when you're down here, look, dude, when you're down here ranked within the realms of David Njoku and Colin Granderson, who has more fantasy points than you, like this is where you live, bro. This is your area. Jody Fortson, Johnny Mutt, and truth be told, Dawson Knox hasn't been doing too hot either. If you want to keep it a buck, but oh yeah, this is a half-point PPR league. Let me change this. Hold on. Let me change this real quick. Let me change this to a full-point PPR. But it still stands. Kyle Pitts is out here, 7.8 points. Look at the realm that you're in. Harrison Bryant, Robert Tonyan. They all got more points. Isaiah Likely is an interesting one to pick up too. Because I think he's gonna start flourishing over time. You know? Even Albert O got more points than my man. So nah. Because I think Kittle's going to actually get the opportunities, especially now. Once Kittle's healthy, with Jimmy Garoppolo back at the quarterback helm, he's going to get some love. So short-term Gage, long-term probably Brown. Oh, Gallup's available. If Gallup's available, we should go out to Gallup too from Dallas. Well, both of them are in that situation, right? Because once Mike Evans comes back and once Chris Godwin's come back, Gage is a nobody. He'll be at best the fourth option. So it's the same thing for both of them. I mean, if that's the thing, then yeah, go with Gage. If you only need for a week, go with Gage. I was telling folks that he was going to be a steal, and you didn't have to go get him in the fourth round either. If somebody will take it, I'll do it. If somebody will take, if you can trade Gibson and Cooks for Diggs, I would do it in a heartbeat. Yeah, man, let's hit this like button. But I'm getting ready to make my exit. It's almost 9 o'clock. I've overstayed my welcome. But this was fun. Tomorrow, Rashad's gonna be doing a preview with my man Big Q. Shout out to him. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm gonna be flying during the show, so I'll watch it after. I might watch it on the plane, depending if I got Wi-Fi. Oh yeah, that's a steal. I mean, I noticed that he fell in a lot of leagues, so if you can get him around too, that's beautiful. But all right, man, I'm about to close out. Like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I still will do the Sunday fantasy Q&A. It might be live from the bank. We'll see, because gates open at 11 o'clock, and me and Rashad going to the game on Sunday. And I will talk to you guys on the next one. And always remember, keep pounding. Peace, guys.